Welcome back to The Price of Business. I am your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. I tell you, after that last interview with great folks over there at Hillsdale College, I think I'm a little pumped. Got that heart going. It was exciting. I love Hillsdale College. Love what it's doing to defend liberty. Love the folks over there at our next guest. These guys are also involved in trying to help keep an eye on America's situation, helping to make sure that America stays free. Michael Connelly, he's with USJF, this United States Justice Foundation, USJF.net. I think you've been on the show before, haven't you, Michael?
I sure have.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know that voice anywhere. You're the guy who could do the commercials in lieu of what's his name? Yeah, Sam. What's his name? Yeah. Anyway, you know who I'm talking about. Well, who's that?
Sam Elliott.
Thank you very much. You could be the next Sam Elliott. He does a gazillion commercials, particularly for car companies. So those who can't afford Sam Elliott need to be contacting Michael Connelly, because you could do that. You could do that any day. So before we talk about the fact that the government is already in the process of confiscating guns, according to recent information that's come from you, before you do that, tell us about USJF.
Well, the U.S. Justice Foundation has been around for 35 years, and we specialize in defending people who have their constitutional rights being challenged. And we defend the Constitution. We go to court. We have filed many briefs in the U.S. Supreme Court and courts of appeal. And we're handling a number of cases right now involving First Amendment rights, Second Amendment rights, Fourth Amendment rights, you name it, we're involved in it.
Yep, no question about it. Great organization. You've been doing it for a long, long time. So there's a lot of rhetoric going on, a lot of alarmism going on, and I'm alarmed as well of the stuff that I definitively know. This government is completely out of control, largely runs on autopilot. No one holds this government accountable. I mean, virtually no one. Organizations like you doing the best you can, while the media gives a collective yawn to the pandemonium that's happening here. I know the Koch brothers, those notorious and hated conservatives by the liberal media, are actually now in the process of buying major media in order to make sure conservatives have a voice in the process. But tell us what you're talking about. The government is now confiscating guns?
Well, what's happening is incredible. We are primarily involved right now in fighting for our veterans in this country, because America's heroes are losing their Second Amendment rights through government action, through the Veterans Administration. Now, what's happening is that letters are being sent out, and this has been going on for a while. They have something called the fiduciary program for veterans, and this was designed that for elderly veterans who might be suffering from dementia or something like that, that could not handle their VA payments and pay their own bills, they would appoint somebody, usually a family member, to do it for them. Then in 2007, Congress adopted an amendment to the National Instant Criminal Background Check List bill that said basically that more people had to be put on there, including veterans who were found to be mentally ill to the point where they were a danger to themselves or others. If they were adjudicated in that situation, they were put on the background check list and could not buy firearms. The VA has taken that and perverted it completely. They are contacting veterans who have physical disabilities, or they say mental disabilities, even though they don't. I'll read you exactly the wording of the letter, part of the wording. This letter explains the evidence we received. We received information showing that because of your disabilities, you may need help in handling your Department of Veteran Affairs VA payments or benefits. The evidence indicates that you are not able to handle your VA benefit payments because of a physical or mental condition, which means somebody who lost an arm or a leg fighting for this country in Iraq or Afghanistan can be put on this list. They appoint a fiduciary for these people. There's no due process. The veterans half the time don't even know why they're being put on notice about this. Then the letter goes on to say a determination of incompetency will prohibit you from purchasing, possessing, receiving, or transporting a firearm or ammunition. If you knowingly violate any of these prohibitions, you may be fined, imprisoned, or both, pursuant to the Brady Handgun Violence Prevention Act. We are getting horror stories. I broke this about 2 months ago. We're getting horror stories from all over the country, veterans with minor PTSD, veterans who maybe told somebody that they'd come back from Afghanistan and lost a buddy over there, and they were depressed about that a little bit, veterans who have physical disabilities. They've even gone after, in one case, the widow of a man killed in Vietnam who would be receiving VA payments, and she told them when they asked her one day on a visit to the VA how she handled paying her bills. She says, well, it's easy. It's all automated. Everything comes right out of my checkbook. They declared her incompetent to handle her own affairs, and she's on this list now that's somebody who cannot buy firearms.
What? Wait a minute. Because she has, hey, you know what? She's smarter than the rest of us. If she's got it all, she's got it automated. She's a genius. I mean, what in the world would make her think that she was unhealthy to do this?
Well, this is a pattern. They're going after all veterans, it seems. There are 150,000 now on the list of people who cannot buy firearms.
150,000?
150,000.
How many of these are veterans?
I'm saying 150,000 veterans are on that list.
Veterans are on the list, and it's growing.
It's growing.
And so they don't need a reason. They don't need a good reason. They just need a reason.
Yeah, they don't. These people aren't even. It's not psychiatric evaluations that are doing this. This is some bureaucrat up there who gets some information, flagging these people and saying, that we're going to take away your gun rights and your due process rights. We filed Freedom of Information Act request with the VA over a month ago, asking for the criteria they're using, because they're not using the legal criteria, to declare veterans incompetent, and the criteria they're using to put them on the list of people who can't own firearms. They refuse to respond. So we filed a suit about 4 days ago to force them to respond. And we're preparing to file several more suits, probably class action suits, on behalf of veterans all over the country who are having this done to them. And it's unbelievable.
Yep. Talking again to Michael Connelly. He is with the U.S. Justice Foundation, USJF.net. So where you are, it sounds like you guys are fighting several different battles. So where are you particularly in helping these veterans?
Well, as I said, we filed the first lawsuit against the VA to get this information. The next lawsuits are going to be class action suits on behalf of the veterans to stop them from being adjudicated, because they're not really being adjudicated, as incompetent to handle their own affairs, to stop that from happening. And to the people that have already lost their gun rights, we're going to try to get that reversed. See, we've got, for example, one veteran out in Arizona, was a Vietnam vet, and he said to the VA one day, he says, yeah, sometimes I'm getting a little older, sometimes I forget to pay my bills on time. They declared him incompetent. He fought them at his own expense for 2 years with his attorney. He won, got the incompetence declaration reversed, but they still won't take him on the list of people that cannot buy firearms. So we're going to be filing suit on behalf of veterans like him to try to get them off of the list. It's going to be very complicated. It's going to be lengthy and expensive. And, of course, we don't ever charge clients for representing them in constitutional cases. We will not charge these veterans or their families anything. We're, raising money through the USJF.net website and, for people to donate to help us fight this battle, because I've got a staff of attorneys working on this. And like I said, we've already filed the first lawsuit. There are going to be more to come.
Yeah, very, very good. We need to keep fighting this battle. It's incredible. There's a lot of different fronts out there, isn't there?
Oh, there are. This is just one of the battles we're fighting on the Second Amendment. We're also representing the Reese family in New Mexico, who owned a gun dealership, father and mother, 2 sons, and they were wrongfully charged during Operation Fast and Furious of doing what the government wanted them to do, giving guns to straw buyers. And the government wanted them to do this. They were forced to do it. Then they were charged with violating the law. And it turns out a new trial was ordered after they were convicted, a couple of them on minor paperwork violations. A new trial was ordered when the judge found out that the key witness for the prosecution was a deputy sheriff who himself had been under investigation for 2 years for being a member of the cartels, the drug cartels.
Yeah.
So
we're
taking the appeal in that case and working on that. And the veterans out there, if they are dealing with this situation with the VA or any other situation, because we're just scratching the tip of the iceberg here.
We live in crazy times. I start wrapping it up. I apologize. But, Michael, good work what you guys are doing. Michael Connelly. And how do we get information where you're at on these different cases?
They can go to the website. We're keeping things posted on the website about what we're doing and where we are. Yeah,
make sure you check that out. USJF.net, correct?
That's correct.
And I want people to check that out. Lots of battles. You might want to financially support them in those battles. You might have a story that they want to hear about. But there's a lot of fronts out there. I bet you guys have never been so busy.
It's incredible.
Yeah, I bet it is really breathtaking. And unfortunately, you guys have bandwidth that's in proportion to your financial resources. And so it's imperative for people to look into this and consider supporting you guys. Thanks for bringing your message to us.
So thank you for having me, Kevin.
Michael, keep fighting the good fight. Michael Connelly, he's with the United States Justice Foundation, USJF.net. Need to keep fighting for America's liberties. You know what, the right to own guns. That's why you got to take that Constitution class that the folks over there at Hillsdale College gives for no cost. You can check it out online. Take it for no cost. You need to take that class because you'll find out that surprise, 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 the right to own gun had nothing to do with shooting deer. Nor a fear that the deer would shoot you back. It had to do with being one of the final checks that the American people had against a government that could potentially get out of hand, a government that could frankly undermine your liberty. Those guns keep our government in check. I'm telling you, it's just reality. So learn more about that class, learn more about the Justice Foundation, USJF.net. All right, when we come back, we're going to have more for you. Hope you will stay tuned to it right here on The Price of Business.